Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The latest quarterly GSO 2040 Implementation Progress Report on the Comprehensive Plan is now available online. The Planning Department compiles the report, which summarizes some of the most important projects and trends shaping Greensboro's future growth. Two new small area plans are in the process of being adopted: the Fleming Road Area Plan and the East Gate City Boulevard Corridor Plan. These will advance stakeholder preferences, priorities, and concerns in support of goals and strategies related to the GSO 2040 big idea of creating great places. Benbow Park in East Greensboro has been nominated to the National Register of Historic Places. If approved, this area will be the first historically African-American neighborhood nominated in Greensboro. This recognizes the city's rich history and promotes building community connections. The Parks and Recreation Department's celebration of 2023 as the Year of the Trail expands the interest and investment in trails and contributes to the goals and strategies of Greensboro becoming a car-optional city. Stay up to date on GSO 2040 implementation by signing up to receive an email when a new report is posted online. Simply visit the e-Notify page on the city's website and select GSO 2040 in the news section to subscribe. Creative Greensboro is accepting applications for GROW, the Greensboro Residency for Original Works. Guilford County-based creative individuals and organizations can apply through June 30th for residencies of up to 8 weeks happening in 2024. GROW is a flexible space located just inside the Davie Street entrance to the Greensboro Cultural Center. Artists selected for a residency receive no-cost access to the 800-square-foot studio space, dedicated marketing support, and compensation of $300 per week of the residency, plus a budget of $500 for materials. Residencies must include at least 6 hours of creative programming each week, which is free to the public. Residents may also use time in the space for private studio hours or to sell work and offer other fee-based programming. Creative Greensboro welcomes GROW proposals from individuals, collaborative groups, or organizations. Creative Greensboro is particularly interested in residencies that center the voices of communities of color, low-income communities, and people with disabilities. This project is supported by the North Carolina Arts Council, a division of the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, with funding from the National Endowment for the Arts. To learn more about upcoming residencies or how to apply to GROW, visit the Creative Greensboro website. This marks the second year Greensboro's Human Rights Department and Culture Crew Employee Resource Group are sponsoring a toiletries drive to support local refugees. The following items are needed: baby powder and baby wipes, bar soap, diapers and diaper cream, dish soap and sponges, feminine hygiene products, and all other toiletries. Organizers request non-bulk items for easier delivery and transit. Donations can be dropped off this week in designated bins at the following collection sites during regular business hours: the Melvin Municipal Office Building at 300 West Washington Street, Lewis Recreation Center at 3110 Forest Lawn Drive, Central Library on North Church Street, Dormition of the Theotokos Greek Orthodox Church on Westridge Road, Cultural Arts Center on North Davie Street, Medford Operations Center on Patton Avenue, and the Volvo Financial Services Office at Piedmont Triad Parkway. Donations will be given to refugees who attend the annual World Refugee Day celebration from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, June 17th at Hester Park. For more information, contact Jody Stanley at 336-412-5748 or Shadi Zaydan at 336-373-2674. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
Regardless of what sport your teenager plays, and whether they play at a highly competitive level or whether they play for fun, we know that they want to win very badly. But we also know that equally, if not more important, is keeping them safe. My name is Dr. Robert Weiner, and I'm with Murphy Weiner Orthopedics. And I'm going to talk to you today about what the warning signs are, what to look for, and how to keep your teenagers and kids safe when they're playing sports at whatever level they're doing. When we talk about factors that lead to injuries, there's some things I want you to understand first about what an injury really is. Injuries can be from one particular event, such as you're running down the field and you go to make a hard cut and your knee gives out. That's one particular event. Or an injury can come from overdoing the same activity over and over again. We call those overuse injuries. And the problem is that not always do you pay attention to the pain. The young athlete may want to just continue to throw because they don't want to disappoint anybody, and so they continue to throw in pain. So the way to prevent an injury in throwing is not only to make sure your arm is strong, but also to make sure that your whole body is strong. So we really stress core strengthening for our throwers. That's true for not just baseball. It's true in tennis, because it's an overhead sport. It's true in volleyball because that can also be an overhead sport. It's true in swimming. So the one thing we tell all of our coaches and our parents when we're talking about their kids playing a sport that involves using their arm is, number one, if you start having pain, immediately stop. Because the more you throw or do anything in pain, the more you're going to do more injury. Then we go back and say, okay, you take some time off. You do a lot of stretching. Stretching is very important in any sport, whether it's baseball for your arm or your hips, you have to stretch those too. Whether it's football or basketball, where we stress a lot about stretching the lower body. But the stretching is important, the strengthening is important, and then resting. Resting is really important, and so we stress that a lot. And so when you feel like that you've done the strengthening and done the stretching, and if there is pain, and you've taken a week or two off, yet you've continued to work on the rest of your body, and if the pain is still there, you need to see us. We see a lot of times that, especially in the summer when these summer leagues will start up, that the kids will start playing on two different teams. And so one team will play on the weekends and another team will play during the week, and all of a sudden, you don't realize it, but they're playing every day and there's no rest, there's no downtime. And so we can see a lot of injuries from that standpoint. We see it in soccer, we see it in baseball. So playing on multiple teams at the same time is a real warning sign that an injury may be brewing. And again, if something starts to hurt, you have to stop. The other thing that we see that goes along with this is that there are many times where there are big tournament weekends, and there'll be 3 or 4 games a day on a Saturday and then on a Sunday. And that's also a potential recipe for a problem. So really paying attention to the amount of time that the young athlete is playing when you don't think it's a big deal, but if you start adding it all up, it's an incredible amount of exposure to the same sport, the same stress on their body over and over again. Just remember, at the end of the day, it's equally important not just to win and to outscore the other team, but also to make sure that you stay safe and healthy. So thank you. Now, for any other information on these topics, go to conehealth.com/orthopedics and you can find all that information that you need. Thank you.
If you've always dreamed of taking a trip to Paris, but for whatever reason it hasn't happened, you can experience all the splendor of Paris without needing a passport. We'll have that story and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Greensboro Beautiful will host the Parisian Promenade at the Tanger Family Bicentennial Garden at no cost to the community. The event will take place from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday, June 4th. Experience the sights and sounds of a spring afternoon in Paris while never leaving Greensboro. This festive event highlights nature and artistry at their finest, complete with a brilliant display of the garden in full bloom. Local artists will display and sell their works along the garden walkways. There will be an assortment of live entertainers, including stilt walkers and a strolling accordion player. Be sure to see the aerial artist suspended 20 feet above the Caldwell Park lawn. Food cafes will offer French pastries and a variety of summer treats. Beer and wine will also be available for purchase. There will be a children's area for kids of all ages to play games and create art. The dog parade starts at 3 p.m. and pets must be leashed and accompanied by a dog handler. Complimentary shuttle service will be available throughout the afternoon from the Signature Place parking lot. Handicap parking will be available in the Bicentennial Garden parking lot. Parisian Promenade is a project of Greensboro Beautiful and the Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department. For more information, contact Greensboro Beautiful at 336-574-3574 or visit their website. Violence prevention is a topic of concern across the country. The City of Greensboro will unveil a new initiative making violence prevention a priority in the Gate City. The GSO Peace on Purpose initiative is part of the Office of Community Safety's Violence Prevention Program. The Peace on Purpose kickoff takes place from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Friday, June 2nd at Barber Park. The event is free and open to the community. June 2nd is also National Gun Violence Awareness Day, and this will be recognized during the event as well. Members of the city manager's team will be on hand to talk about violence prevention with residents. Activities include free food, games, music, entertainment, community art projects, and more. Several community organizations will be on site to provide information about their resources, such as mentoring programs, mental health services, after-school, and summer youth programs. Supporting partners for this event include the Greensboro Police Department, Greensboro Parks and Recreation, and Creative Greensboro. Barber Park is located at 1500 Barber Park Drive. If you want to make some repairs around your house or the landscaping in your neighborhood needs a facelift, the city can help you out. If you want to do the work yourself, but you're lacking the appropriate tools and equipment or cannot afford to buy or rent the tools, the city has launched a free Neighborhood Toolbox Lending Center. Review the list of the available tools and equipment, fill out a form to borrow the requested items, and they will be delivered to you, all at no cost. Neighborhood Toolbox is a joint effort between Greensboro's Housing and Neighborhood Development Department and Lowe's Home Improvement. Housing staff created the program and Lowe's donated the equipment and tools enough to fill 2 8-foot by 16-foot trailers. This tool lending program is available for non-commercial purposes to people living within Greensboro city limits. To learn more about the program and to access the list of tools, visit the city's website. The City of Greensboro is taking a non-conventional approach to traditional policing. Coming up after the break, we'll take you behind the scenes of the newly created Office of Community Safety. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The City of Greensboro has created a way to convene police, community stakeholders, and city leadership to discuss the root causes of violence and play an active role in problem solving. Joining me now to explain the inner workings of her office is Letitia McNeil. She is the manager of Greensboro's Office of Community Safety. Hello, Letitia. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining me. So let's start by having you outline a few key objectives for the Office of Community Safety.
Okay, so some of the objectives for the Office of Community Safety are we deal with alternative responses to calls for service for 911 calls. We focus on providing transparency and accountability for law enforcement and within our community. And then we also provide ways for community voice to play an active role in public safety initiatives.
Okay, so when you're saying alternative ways to respond to 911, that could be instead of a police officer, maybe somebody who has mental health skill sets and
Yes.
an understanding.
Yes, so that could involve having our behavioral health response team where we would have a licensed clinicians respond, as well as they do that in tandem with law enforcement officers. We also have different community providers that are tasked with helping to deal with some of our violence prevention initiatives that we have also.
Okay, and this is so critical because we've seen in cases across the country where perhaps if they had that intervention with someone with a mental health background skill set, that there could have been a better or more outcome that would have not been as tragic for some of these cases. So I'm going to assume that's one of the reasons why it's so vital and why this Office of Community Safety is such an asset.
So I think one of the things that's important with the Office of Community Safety is for so long our public safety entities have stood in the gap where, when everyone else can leave a situation, police have to respond, fire, 911, they have to be there. And we have not provided them with the resources to actually support them in those situations. And really my office stands as that support to stand with public safety, to say, we understand that you don't have all of the tools to answer everything. So here we are to support you as a community.
Fantastic. Now, what would you like the community to know outside of what you've already shared? What would you like them to know about what your office is doing?
I would like for them to know that we are working on several initiatives to support public safety. Public safety is not just something that our police or fire, EMS, it's a community safety. We're all responsible as community members to make sure that we have the safest community. And part of that is by sometimes we have to do things ourselves. Sometimes we have to step up and just be present and offer assistance to our public safety entities.
And explain the importance of getting police buy-in with the work that you're doing through your office.
So getting police buy-in was critical. Having the support of the Greensboro Police Department in what we do has been one of the biggest motivators and has really helped to push our office forward. They have been on board since, I would say, before day one. Really understanding that they don't have all the answers and having the ability to say, hey, we may not know, but let's see if we can incorporate these individuals to assist us. And they know that we're not in competition, we're in collaboration. And so leading with that spirit from the beginning has been very helpful with us.
Fantastic. And before we go, what are some of the long-term goals that you envision achieving for the Office of Community Safety?
So what I envision is the Office of Community Safety having increased size, for one, because we have so many different things that we need to focus on within the community. I look at us increasing our behavioral health response team to have more clinicians who are able to respond in the evenings and on weekends. I also see our law enforcement assisted diversion or lead program growing to provide GPD officers with opportunities for them to be able to help divert people out of the criminal justice system. And then I also see us working creatively with not only police but our community to find ways to address violence in our city.
Fantastic. Well, Letitia, the Office of Community Safety is clearly a much needed asset, and you're making a positive difference in the community. We hope you'll come back and give us updates and keep us posted on your developments.
I'd love to. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorsett Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The community is invited to celebrate the third annual Juneteenth Festival in the Gate City. The Juneteenth GSO Fest will take place from Thursday, June 15th to Sunday, June 18th. Festivities kick off at the Carolina Theater with the Sistars of Juneteenth. Other activities include the Arts Legacy Awards, Uptown Juneteenth Arts and Crafts Festival, the Black Food Truck Festival, and the Juneteenth Gospel Superfest as a finale. Juneteenth commemorates June 19, 1865, when enslaved people in Galveston, Texas received word 2 years after the Civil War had ended, declaring their freedom. The Juneteenth GSO Fest is sponsored by the City of Greensboro, Visit Greensboro, Creative Greensboro, Lincoln Financial, Truliant Federal Credit Union, and North Carolina A&T State University. To review the event schedule for Juneteenth GSO Fest, visit the event website at juneteenthgso.com. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendars for the places to go and things to do on the town.
I'm Dave, and here are some of the special events happening this weekend on the town. Discover secrets of an ancient world at the Greensboro Science Center this summer as it hosts the Mystery of the Mayan Medallion exhibit. This immersive display takes guests to Mexico, where an archaeological team has mysteriously disappeared from a dig site while investigating rumors of a priceless medallion. Exhibit access is included with general admission to the center. Learn more at greensboroscience.org. Join the Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department on June 3rd in a celebration of National Trails Day and the North Carolina Year of the Trail. This year's event offers tons of trail-related activities for all ages, including guided hikes, rides, paddling trips, kids' activities, music, and more. Learn more online at greensboro-nc.gov. Trombone Shorty and Orleans Avenue bring their summer tour to the White Oak Amphitheater at the Greensboro Coliseum Complex on June 3rd. They're joined by Yola, Mavis Staples, and the Robert Randolph Band for a memorable night of rhythm and blues. Tickets start at $29.50 and may be bought at the Coliseum box office or online at greensborocoliseum.com. Visit the Carolina Theater June 3rd and 4th for a celebration of music and dance. See Greensboro Performing Arts Ballet Company, Triad Tap Company, Musical Theater, Rep 336, and dance classes perform selections that highlight their past year of work. Tickets start at $12 and may be bought at the box office or online at carolinatheater.com. The International Civil Rights Center and Museum hosts its annual Dr. George Simpkins Fundraising Golf Classic June 5th at the Forest Oaks Country Club. In addition to raising funds, this is a great networking opportunity and a unique social experience that forms foursomes of diverse backgrounds. Learn more and register online at sitinmovement.org. Stay tuned to FYI Weekly for more happenings on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Kids can learn to experience the joy of paddling at Lake Brandt's Kiddies and Kayaks program. These sessions will be held on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. throughout the summer. The cost is $30 per session, and the classes are scheduled for June 10th, July 1st, July 27th, August 10th, and August 26th. The registration fee includes a kayak, the necessary gear, and safety equipment. Space is limited and the seats will fill up quickly, so reserve a spot today. Using a two-person kayak, one adult and one child ages 4 to 12 will explore Lake Brandt. Each child will be given a laminated book with things commonly found on the lake so they can circle the picture of each item they can see and hear. For more information about programs hosted at Greensboro City Lakes, please visit the city's website. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the Greensboro Police Department. In partnership with the Guilford Merchants Association, GPD hosted its annual Police and Community Awards Banquet at the Corey Convention Center. Police Chief John Thompson and his command staff presented awards to officers and non-sworn staff. The event also recognizes members of the community for acts of bravery or exemplary citizenship. The highest honors went to Liam Earhart for Rookie of the Year, and the 2023 Police Officer of the Year is Jose Chavez. Way to go, GPD. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO. Plus, GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.